Welcome into Just an Average Football Podcast, where every week is football week.
But guess what? Casey finally took notes.
Casey finally took notes. So
We took how many years of us doing this?
Too many. I think you used to take notes. You're kind of like, I don't know. Did you take notes in high school? No, never. See, I took a lot of notes in college, so I think the good habits kind of carried over. So I didn't take notes in high school though. But Casey, actually, before we get into everything today, we got an awesome show today. We're talking some post free agency stuff, talking some winners and losers, as well as doing some rankings of wide receiver duos in the NFL. But first, Casey, beautiful weekend. You went golfing Saturday, and I actually went to my first ever card show I've been to over in Quincy. Traded for a lot of cool cards.
Traded some
of mine. So some of my ones I've won on Whatnot, I traded those away. I think I got like $50 total. Ended up spending that money to get a couple cards. Did some trading around and ended up walking away with a Bo Nix case hit. It was like $45. I think I paid $25. So, and a couple trades.
PC card.
Yeah.
PC card.
Yeah, yep. Added to the collection. I'm kind of looking up here right now, and I think that's going to be the goal. I'm just going to collect a ton of Broncos cards, Broncos rookies every single year, and then sell everything I don't need, or just give it away to friends.
That's like me right here. It's like me with my Cardinals.
Yeah,
I don't have very much. I don't have very many. Really, don't have a whole lot of football cards with the Dolphins. Really, got a whole bunch of Cardinals cards though that are just I'll never get rid of. So,
well, yeah, I mean that's kind of how I am too. It's like I have these Broncos cards, and like whenever I do breaks online, all I want is the Broncos cards. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I will say one thing though, and maybe this isn't for all card shows, but like when I went, I felt like, because I even said, I'm like, yeah, this is the first card show I've been to, and I feel like some guys are like, oh, well, here, look, I'm gonna cut you a deal here, and other people want to take advantage of it. So it really kind of depended, because I knew there was this one guy. I had a card. He's a $50 card, and he's like, yeah, I'll trade you, and I'll trade you this card for like a $20 Bo Nix graded card. And I'm like, this is a $50 card, and I'm like, well, how about this and $20? And he ended up doing that, so he still made $6 off me if he can sell the card. But I realized they've got to resell it as well. But I'm not out anything because I won that card.
You also don't know how they got the Bo Nix card either.
That's true.
These people, like a lot of these people that do these, that are like resellers, they go in and they buy in bulk. A lot of these big name guys, like big people, buy in bulk. They go to these trade shows and stuff. Like they buy in bulk. They buy off people who have no idea what they're talking about. They just buy a collection off of people that maybe just are getting rid of it, and then they resell it. So maybe he got that for pretty much nothing. And
possibly, I mean, and same with me. That card I gave away was the John Mateer quarterback auto wild card suite that I won. It's like a $50 card I won for $6. So I mean, I can't complain. I spent $6 on it and still made money on it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. And you went golfing. First time picking up the clubs in what, 5-6 months?
Yeah, since September, since I got my gallbladder out.
Wow. Yeah. So how'd that go?
One less organ. I recommend it. Get your gallbladder
out. Get it out.
So the first hole, I double bogeyed. I was like, this is going to be completely awful. Like the first shot I had was completely off the toe. It was something like I never do. Like I never push irons and I never fade irons and push irons to the right. If I do anything, it's a draw pull. And the first 5 swings with an iron was that way. And then finally, I got loose and got back into the rhythm a little bit, and I went double bogey, and then I went 4 straight pars. I think 4 straight pars, and I think I finished the front 9 at Weematuck 4 over. I went 39 on the front, and I was like, that's great. And then I went 44 on the back, shot 83. So
did you guys win?
Humbled me a little bit. Yeah, we won. So it was me and my buddy Tucker against Zeb and Brad, and Zeb and Brad actually played really well.
Really good.
Yeah, I think they they got beat by us by like 2 or 3 strokes. If I was playing, I pretty much played. It was pretty much my score was pretty much what we had. If that makes any sense, like my score,
You carried. That's a
but
polite. That's a polite way of you saying that you kind of carried.
Like the ones that we parred, he would have parred too.
Gotcha.
And then there was a couple holes. There was one hole that we took of his. I can't remember what it was that he parred and I bogeyed, I think, or something like that. So yeah, so our score it leveled out, but like I think that we shot like an 82 or something like that, 82, 81 as a team, and then I shot like an 83 by myself because I got my own score.
Yeah, and for those of you guys that are watching and listening, Casey is he's not lying. He's actually a very good golfer. So he might be underplaying it, underselling it a little bit. He is a really good golfer. So those are legit scores. I can vouch for that. But yeah, it's been a great weekend. I think we're going to continue to have some nice weather here. Had spring break this past week. It's our last day of spring break. Nothing like waking up on a Monday in a blizzard and then on a Friday it being like 80 degrees out. Only in Illinois can you go from I took the kids sledding Monday and then we went to a card show on Saturday, so it's insane.
Sweating your butt off.
Yeah, I was too. I was really sweating. But yeah, fun weekend, but now it's time to hop into football. A lot of crazy things have transpired. Obviously, we talked about those in the previous podcast. If you guys have not seen those, go check those out. But let's talk biggest winners and losers here. Post free agency, we're now 3 weeks removed from free agency. As far as all the signings and stuff go, things are kind of slowing down a little bit. This is technically the end of like week 2, so week 2, so week 3 will be next week. I think that's kind of how it goes. But who do you have? I mean, I'm intrigued to see if we have the same winners and same losers. We can start with our winners here first. But who's your biggest winner? And this can be, for those of you listening, you guys can play along. This can be teams, this can be players, this can be organizations, this can be fans, this can be GMs, coaches, whatever you want. Whoever you guys think the biggest winners are, we'd like to know. Let us know in the comments who you think the biggest winners and losers of the offseason are so far.
So I'm going to still stick with last week when I said the biggest winner was the Panthers. I'm going by a team that went to the playoffs last year, didn't lose anything, and gained 2 very, very good defensive players that are veteran and are built to win. They signed Jalen Phillips and Devin Lloyd, who are number 3 and number 4 in the top 50 free agent market. So they got 2 top 5 guys in the free agent market on their team, which is fantastic for them. And their defense was lacking on the edge a little bit. They had a guy, I can't remember what his name is. Very good interior defensive guy for the Panthers.
Yeah.
He would push people to the outside, and they had no one to stop the outside. So he would
Derek
push
Brown?
them. It might be him. I can't remember what his name was.
They've had him for a while.
I was looking at when I was looking and doing some of this research a little bit. It was saying how they would always be able to push people up the middle, away from the middle, and then they had no one to get the exterior out. So I think that helps them a lot, getting those 2, and then now that gives the Panthers free range in the first round to draft pretty much whoever they want to draft. They can go more defense, beef that up more, or they can go another receiver. They can honestly go another offensive lineman. They could do whatever they really want to do, and that's the type of range that you want to have when it comes to drafting. You want to be able to weigh the options, have the flexibility. So yeah, I'm going Panthers for sure.
Panthers, okay, I like that. So far, I did not have the Panthers on mine, so this would be good. Hopefully, we both have different ones here. I've actually got Matthew Stafford. I feel like last year,
so you're going
Matthew Stafford. We're gonna Matthew Stafford / Rams offense. I feel like they're winners because I feel like they kind of carried a lot last year. As far as each game goes, the defensive front 7 played really well. You could even say that the secondary is the biggest winner. However you want to kind of phrase this, I think the Rams in some aspect are winners because they went out and they got 2 top tier, in my opinion, corners who have chemistry together, and Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie. I think that they're going to go ahead and that was their weak point last year was their secondary. Nothing against Emmanuel Forbes and those guys they had back there. They just didn't perform like they probably should have, and lost some games because of it. But I think they get strong there. They got Cam Curl coming back. They have another guy back there as well, Quentin Lake. So their secondary went from one of the weaker ones, over there in the NFC South to maybe now one of the better ones. So I like that for Matthew Stafford probably the most, just because now he can kind of take some of the weight off his shoulders, let the defense, go out there and make some plays and do some big things. So, and then now next year pushing for a Super Bowl. So yeah, give me the Rams / Matthew Stafford.
I like that one. So I only have one other one. I just did 2 and 2.
Okay, yeah.
My other one is I'm going the Raiders. They spent a crap ton of money.
Raiders as well.
Yeah, they spent a crap ton of money. They signed Tyler Lindenbaum, one of the better offensive lineman free agents. He will help big with the pass and the run protection. They also signed a crap ton of defensive guys. They signed Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean at the linebacker, Kwity Paye at pass rusher. And then they're also bringing back as of right now, they're bringing back Max Crosby without getting rid of literally anything. They've signed all this, and also they also signed Jalen Naylor, to the wide receiver depth just a little bit. Not really a huge fan of that pickup. I think they probably could have went for someone a little bit better with the money that they had to spend, but they're drafting Mendoza. Maybe they're going to really see how good, I guess, he is offensively before they really build around him, I guess, a certain way. Maybe there's certain receivers that he's going to be acquainted to more than just trying to beef him up with certain, like, just the best receivers they could possibly give him. Maybe he's better throwing to slot receivers or deep ball guys, so you don't know. So I mean, they signed a crap ton of people and they did it the right way. So yeah, I'm going with the Raiders.
Yeah, and I had this as Raiders fan base. I think if you're a Raiders fan, you should be just ecstatic going into the season. I realize you're in a tough division, but now,
you're probably going to win some ball games now.
Yeah, the Raiders, I think, as a fan base, are super optimistic the way it is every single year. I mean, if you're a fan, you try to be optimistic, but, now you have reason to. You're going to get, a franchise quarterback. You first lost what you thought you were going to lose your best defensive player. You now get him back. You've still got the calorie sap to go out and, sign more players. Things are looking up. You don't have those 2 first-round draft picks. I don't think you need them. Get another receiver, a good receiver in this draft. But yeah, if I'm the Raiders fan base, I'm super happy. The other winner that I have on here, and I've got to be biased, it's Bo Nix, in my opinion. He's getting sorry, I know you're double.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't put him down, but that's one of the biggest.
He's getting a huge playmaker in Jalen Waddle. This is nothing against the receivers we currently have. We have a lot of really good receivers, but we don't really have that elite receiver other than Cortland Sutton. I think you could probably classify him close up there, but you can use Jalen Waddle in so many different aspects. You can use him in the slot. You can use him on the outside. You can use him as a gadget guy coming out of the backfield. Broncos were second in the league last year in drop passes. Granted, I think Bo Nix threw the most passes in the NFL last year, but bringing a guy in that you have now as an extra threat, it's going to help out a lot. And now we've got these young guys where it's, hey, we've got another spot left. We go trips, we go empty. Who's going to be on the field? So I think it's going to help to bring out the competition in that wide receiver room. So I think Bo Nix gets a huge upgrade at wide receiver, and I think it helps him out a lot. So those are my 3 biggest losers here. I'm intrigued to see if we have the same.
This one might surprise you, and I'm going Eagles.
Okay,
I'm going Eagles.
Eagles. Okay.
Yeah. So the Eagles lost Jalen Phillips, Nakobe Dean, Blankenship, who were all starters on the defense last year for them.
Yep. They draft really well though.
They draft really well, but they haven't signed anyone really. So they're basically losing guys and not really signing anyone right now.
They got Tariq Woolen, but I mean, it depends on how you view Tariq Woolen. It really does, because
but what I'm saying is, whenever you lose that many starters that are that veteran and that good, you're going to take a toll. And they were already kind of in the trenches a little bit last year, and they're probably going to lose AJ Brown by the trade deadline. I'm assuming I'm betting they're probably going to
post June. I think there's probably already a handshake, honestly, in a done deal,
Yeah.
handshake done. Now they're just kind of waiting for that post June, so they don't have to eat all of his salary
Yeah.
and whatnot.
So he's going to be gone.
I think so too.
I would probably bet money that he's gone. So there's another guy that you're losing your number one receiver right there, and then you're losing Jalen Phillips, who was probably the number number two edge rusher in free agency coming out. N'Kobe Dean, great linebacker,
Good, quick, fast.
good.
Yeah.
So you're losing a lot when it comes to just you're thinking. I only lost 3 guys on defense. Well, you lost 3 guys that were pretty big parts of your defense. Bringing Jalen Phillips in made it 10 times better for them on the line, and their numbers went up like tremendously, didn't it? From when
I mean, they lost Sweat. They lost Sweat in free agency last year. Get Phillips in the trade, and he helps. And then they lose Phillips, and it's just like they lost their defensive tackle. He went to the Patriots last year. I can't think of his name. I'm blanking on his name right now, but yeah, I mean, like I said, they always.
And are they going to sign Carter back too?
Carter, they just signed Jordan Davis, I think, to a big contract.
Yeah,
so I
are they
mean,
going to sign Carter? Who knows?
Yeah,
I say the Eagles are going to struggle. They're not going to be dominant. I don't think that it is for sure them winning the division this year or conference.
Jalen Hurts in midseason form already during the flag football tournament.
Yeah.
Pick 6. I mean, it was not pretty. He did not look good. He did not look good playing. He threw a pick 6. I'm like, these guys.
Tom Brady
I
looked
realized
10 times better.
Tom Brady looked good. Looked pretty elusive too.
And then Gronk.
Hamstring. Yeah, my goodness. But my number 1 is actually Malik Willis. And I am sorry that I continue to bring up your Dolphins, but they're on my list.
They're on my list. They're
currently
the other team.
in shambles. So we can kind of talk about this a little bit here. I feel bad. I think he's the biggest loser in this situation because you bring him in and he's like, all right, well, hey, at least I've got Jalen Waddle to work with here.
So I don't feel bad for him because he could have went anywhere.
But he came here knowing he signed knowing like, hey, at least I have Jalen Waddle. At least I have a true number 1 receiver.
I think he came knowing the background of the 2 guys that are in the office.
Yeah.
Or he knew his head coach.
Yep.
He knew the head coach, and he knows the GM, and I think he's just more familiar with it. I think it made us more settling. I think it's a winner on that side for the Dolphins. Getting Malik Willis so cheap, and he's probably.
I think it's a win for the Dolphins. Yes.
When it comes to that,
yeah, okay.
That is the only thing that the Dolphins are a winner in. That, and the only thing that they're a winner in is that they have a crap ton of picks this year. So if we sign
so do the Jets as well.
If the Dolphins utilize the picks the way that we brought the GM in for, we're gonna be okay.
Got to hit on
be awful. Not gonna be awful, but we got to hit on picks. Got to hit on picks. But just
that's a good.
Go ahead.
That's a good perspective there on that. I'm saying from Malik Willis's perspective, though,
he's got nothing.
You've come in, it's like, okay, I've got Jalen Waddle, and now
number 1 receiver now.
You got Tutu Atwell. I actually had it here. Tutu Atwell, Malik Washington, and Jalen Tolbert. Which we're going to get into wide receiver duos in the NFL, and that might be close to the bottom, if not the bottom, as far as wide receiver duos go. He's also a loser because what if he goes out there this year and they bomb? They win 2-3 games. They have the first overall pick in the draft. It's a strong draft next year. This next year's draft's got more quarterbacks in it than this year's draft. Arch Manning is going to be the talk all of this year, college football. Malik Willis, paying him decent amount of money. I mean, if you have that first overall pick, do you take Arch Manning? What a crazy situation that'd be with Quinn Ewers there. Arch Manning was Quinn Ewers back up at Texas. Now Arch Manning would probably be starting over Quinn Ewers. I don't know. It's tough in that perspective. It's like, hey, you've got to give me a year here because, what you haven't surrounded me with anything right now. And if I fail, are you going to give up on me? And that's got to be in the back of his mind. If they start losing games, it's got to be.
It's in the back of every quarterback that's giving an opportunity. Every single first year real opportunity that a quarterback gets, that is in the back. That's got to be in the back of their mind. Like Tyler Shuck, he didn't really have much. He played
He had
well.
he had a lot of
He played well, but he really didn't have a whole lot. Like, you're not surrounding these some franchises set up quarterbacks for failure. Like,
Yeah.
and it's the same with every single sport.
Gotta be able to develop
It's the
them.
same with every single sport. Baseball is the same way. Football is the same way. But baseball, you can kind of decide your own fate and decide your own destiny. With football, when it comes to being a quarterback, comes to being a receiver, running back's a little different too. But specifically when it comes to quarterback, you gotta have people that can catch the freaking ball. So, and you gotta have people that know what they're doing, and you gotta have an offensive line. There's a lot of factors into being a good quarterback,
Got to
good
have a good
successful
running
quarterback
game,
in the
and
football.
you guys currently have a good running game, unless A-Chain gets traded
They said
away.
A-Chain is not on. They also said Waddle wasn't either. But
They also said Waddle.
I think A-Chain is staying. I think A-Chain he's got to stay.
I'd like to say that he stays there just to help out.
Would you like
Malik
this?
a little bit? I'll take it. I'll take it off your hand. Is that a
number to 75?
Game worn?
It's not.
Tick? Not.
It's not specific.
Okay,
well, no,
it's a
but
75.
It's a 75.
Do I have anything here I could trade? We'll talk later. Let's move on here to the next one because, like I said, we've only got 2 segments today. With that second segment, it's going to take a while to get through those receivers. I'll just hit on a couple more of these guys. Was those your only 2 correct for your losers?
Yeah.
So I'll just touch really quick. Ravens GM Eric DeCosta. I think the whole situation with the trade and then the medicals coming, the quote unquote medicals coming up with the Max Crosby stuff, and then the stuff he kind of pulled last year a little bit, which it's just a little fishy. It's a little fishy. The things he did last year with the whole Jair Alexander trade,
and because the Eagles you could honestly put Lamar Jackson as a loser on here a little bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think Lamar is going to be a winner, bringing in a new coach and kind of give something different from him. But I think DeCosta, I think he burned some bridges there, so I think he might be a loser in this situation. I'm just bringing in a GM, and then maybe another biggest loser here is a guy that really hasn't. He's got a shot, but not really. And that's J.J. McCarthy for the Vikings. Traded up for him in the 2024 NFL draft. I realize it was 1 pick they traded up to get him, but injuries and inconsistent play has just plagued his whole entire short career. And now Kyler Murray is most likely the guy taking over there for the Vikings. So, McCarthy's probably the biggest loser because he's either going to get cut or going to get traded. Because he's young enough. I think it could be another Sam Darnold situation.
He could just gotta have a different situation.
But with that being said, Kevin O'Connell's a phenomenal coach.
And if he can't,
look what Sam Darnold did last year with Kevin O'Connell, just the career revival he had. And if McCarthy,
the Vikings look bad. The Vikings look bad for this.
Yeah, so Vikings in general might be losers unless Kyler Murray comes in and does some good. But
I say the other winner you could really say too is DJ Moore.
Yeah,
I think going to Buffalo
in a
and
situation.
Put up in a fantastic situation too. So just
I don't think he had a bad situation.
No, but there's so many good young receivers under there just getting so much more than him that now he's really got a chance to revamp and become that true number 1 again.
No, I agree. And we're actually going to get into wide receivers here, talking about wide receiver duos, kind of ranking each division, see who has the best wide receiver in each division, and then really kind of figure out who the best wide receiver duo is in the NFL. But first, a quick word from Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. All right, time to talk about a game changer for snack time, Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. These aren't your average dry, dusty seeds. Nope, Smackin' takes flavor to the next level. Bigger, bolder, and straight up addicting. Whether you're chilling at the ball field, gaming with friends, or just need something to keep your hands busy, Smackin' has you covered. And the best part? No soggy seeds, no weak flavors, just pure Smackin' goodness in every handful. So if you're ready to upgrade your seed game, grab a bag of Smackin' Sunflower Seeds today and get ready to start smacking. Scan our QR code or click the link in our description to get 10% off your first order. All right, we are back, and we are going to hop into these rankings here. This is current rankings as of 6/18 on March 22nd. So if this changes here within the next 24 hours, I apologize. Things are happening all the time in the NFL. But we're going to go ahead and go division by division. We're going to pick out the best wide receivers in each division, and then we're going to rank top 4 in the AFC, top 4 in the NFC, and then our number 1 through 4 overall. So, or 1 through 8 overall, I should say. So let's go ahead and start. Let's not waste any time here. We've got a lot of teams to get through. Let's go ahead and start with the AFC East, and we've got the Bills. DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir is the Bills.
Okay.
Dolphins, Jalen Tolbert, Malik Washington, with Waddle gone now. Patriots is Romeo Dobbs and Kayshon Boutte. Demario Davis, maybe. I just put Booty there for right now.
Booty was the number 1 when it came to the playoffs. So
I think he was really good. And then Jets, you've got Garrett Wilson, and that's not right. It says Allen Lazard. No, it's Adonai Mitchell. Adonai Mitchell from the Colts. So Garrett Wilson, and that's not bad. Adonai Mitchell. All right. Boy, what are we thinking as far as these teams go? Who has? It's DJ Moore and Khalil?
Yeah, it's the Bills.
It's DJ Moore, and is there anybody else there in the Bills that can? I mean, I realize they have good tight ends. We're not bringing tight ends to this, but
I guess if Keon Coleman steps it up, then maybe. But
yeah, so we're gonna say Bills. Well, let's go. I mean, this is going to go pretty quick. So let's just go 1 through 4. So we're gonna put the Bills at 1. Number 2, I would say it's probably the Jets. Garrett Wilson and Donnie Mitchell. Yeah. I can hear my kids upstairs just going crazy. So I'm just waiting for my wife to come down here and be like, "Are you done?" I'm just sitting here having a little thing.
3 is
now
definitely
it's got to be it's Patriots. Patriots here. And then the last one, unfortunately, is your Dolphins. So okay.
We don't even have a number 1, so
yeah.
we don't even have a number 2. We don't have a number 2.
You're gonna find out. I mean, and like I said, you guys could draft one, and this could change. So, AFC West is set. Those of you guys that are following along, let us know in the comments if you think these, if we're off on any of these. I think, the Jets and Patriots are. No, I don't think they're close. I think this is a pretty good list. Oof, man, Garrett Wilson and Adonai Mitchell definitely rival DJ Moore and Khalil Shakir though. AFC North, we've got the Ravens, Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. Bengals. I'm gonna go ahead and just highlight the Bengals here as number 1 because I don't think there's another team that's better than them. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and then you've got Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman. Who I don't know who else the Brown. I mean, they have Cedric Tillman. They have Isaiah Bond. I don't know. We'll just say Isaiah Bond.
It goes Jerry Jeudy and then Judkins.
You might not be wrong.
Or it was a Buka, but he's gonna be gone. He's not gonna sign back with the.
Njoku.
Njoku, yeah, he's not gonna sign back with the.
Yeah. And then you got the Steelers, Michael Pittman Jr. and DK Metcalf. That's probably number 2. Right?
Yeah.
So Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are for sure number 1. Michael Pittman Jr. and DK Metcalf.
Those are two. Those used to be those. Michael Pittman was the number 1 for a long time.
Yeah.
I'd go that number 2.
Ravens. I thought they had somebody else. Oh, they had D-Hop last year, but this one's tough because Jerry Jeudy's a phenomenal route runner. Rashad Bateman's a speed guy. Isaiah Bond really hasn't been able to prove very much yet, but I think he could be really good.
I would say given the quarterback with it.
I know I'm going pure talent. We can't take the quarterback into consideration here. We'd have like the Chiefs wide receivers up there, but where do we go here? Pure talent wise, I almost feel like I've got to go Isaiah Bond and Jerry Jeudy over Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. That's just me.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Really? Okay, I'm glad you agree with me on that. Okay, I thought we were going to have a little bit of a debate here. So let's go Browns here. So in that division, we currently have the Ravens having the worst wide receiver. Wow. We're going to get a lot of slack for that, but I'm not a big fan of Zay Flowers. Maybe we'll get a lot of people to agree with us. We'll see. AFC South. Okay, Nico Collins and Tank Dell for the Texans. Colts, Alec Pierce and Josh Downs. Jaguars. This is where it gets tough. Jaguars have a lot of depth. They've got Brian Thomas Jr., which is probably their kind of, and there's been trade talks, but they've got Brian Thomas Jr., so we'll just pick one of these guys to go along with them. Travis Hunter plays both ways, hurt last year. Parker Washington really stepped up playing, kind of that slot gadget receiver, and then Jacoby Myers coming over from the Raiders. Who do we want to put as their number 2? Do you just want to say it's Travis Hunter for right now if he's coming back healthy?
Yeah,
We'll
it's
just
either
say
him or
Travis
Jacoby
Hunter.
Myers.
Yeah, that's what I think. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these guys. We're going to say it's Travis Hunter. We're going to assume he comes back healthy. And then you got Calvin Ridley and the newly acquired Rondale Robinson for the Titans. This is tough. These are close. We talked about Nico and how we said he's probably a top 5.
So if I'm going straight healthy talent, the Texans have the best 2.
I think so too.
The 1-2
Yeah.
punch, in my opinion. Because Nico Collins is a top 5. It could be a top 5 receiver.
Yeah,
if
I agree.
Healthy.
He's just, the way he's built, really good. After this, I feel like this is tough because Josh Downs really good. I think we can agree though, Titans as of now probably still have the worst wide receiver room. So it's between the Jags and the Colts. Alec Pierce and Josh Downs, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter. I've got to give the edge here to Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. Yeah, because I think Travis Hunter is a better number 2 than Josh Downs. Don't get me wrong, Josh Downs is really good. I had him on fantasy last year, and he was boomer bust for me every once in a while. But I think that's probably the best thing we can do there. So we are actually going through these a lot faster than I thought we were. But like I said, we still got to break down the tops in top 1 through 8. All right, AFC West. This will be interesting. Jalen Waddle and Cortland Sutton for the Broncos. Chiefs have Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. Raiders, Trey Tucker and the newly acquired Jalen Naylor. And then Chargers, Ladd McConkey and Keenan Allen.
I think number 1 is your Broncos.
I love to hear it. I'm not going to argue with it at all. We're just going to go ahead and highlight them and put them in green here. Next here, it's tough. Ladd McConkey and Keenan Allen, and then Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. Ladd's good. Ladd had a down year last year. This is a tough one. I think Trey Tucker and Jalen Naylor I think the Raiders are still last right now. Xavier Worthy's okay. We got to compare receiver for receiver. Rashee Rice and Ladd McConkey. Oh man, I think I've got to go Chargers just because Keenan Allen, great route runner, the vet.
Yeah, I'd go that.
I think I've got to go them second, which, I mean, and you know what? I think we say this all the time. We even said the biggest need for the Chiefs is another wide receiver, like a game breaker. Xavier Worthy's speed, but he's not going to, other than his speed, it doesn't have a lot of other. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and put the Chargers second and the Chiefs third here. Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. So, moving on to the NFC. Cowboys, they've got to be number 1. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb maybe could rival the top wide receiver duo. Maybe they are the top wide receiver duo. We're going to get into that. I think they're number 1. For the Eagles, you got AJ. As of now, Eagles, you got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Commanders, Terry McLaurin and Treylon Burks. Deebo Samuel, currently a free agent, could sign back. Not sure right now. Giants, Malik Neighbors and Darius Slayton. Because they lost Wandale.
I think if we're comparing it right now, it's
got to be
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, the number 2. And then number 3,
Scary Terry's good. I think Terry McLaurin and Malik Neighbors is really good too. Darius Slayton. I think the fact that Treylon Burks had an okay year last year and he's bounced around the league a little bit is the only reason I put them at number 4, personally. I think I put the Commanders at number 4, and I think the youth of Malik Neighbors, I realized coming off the injury. Darius Slayton, a solid vet. I think the Giants could be 2 here. I love Terry McLaurin alone about puts them third for me, but I just can't do it, personally. It's tough. It's a tough one.
Yeah, I like Malik Neighbors. I like what he was doing when he was healthy, before he got hurt.
So, Commanders, unfortunately, you guys have the worst wide receiver duo in the NFC East. That's tough, and that one's really close. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the NFC North. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams for the Lions. Packers got Christian Watson and now Jaden Reed. Maybe Matthew Golden. Do I say Jalen Reed or Matthew Golden? Probably Matthew Golden since he's a first-round draft pick. But he didn't have a touchdown last year until the playoffs. I'll put Matthew Golden in there. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Be like, no, it's Reed. We don't like Golden. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Vikings, you've got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and then Bears, Rome Odunze, and Luther Burden. Very youthful there for the Bears, but really good receivers in my opinion. I think number one,
I think it's Justin Jefferson,
and Jordan Addison. Yeah, this is very good wide receivers in the NFC North, by the way. These are all like very close. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, I think has to be second.
They're number two just because of
the fact that Jameson Williams got the speed, Amon-Ra's got the route running ability, the hands.
3, I'm going the Bears.
I think I'm going the Bears too. Christian Watson and Matthew Golden don't scare me as much as Rome Odunze and Luther Burden. Don't sleep on Luther Burden. I think he's going to be a phenomenal wide receiver next year. You know, you could see it in a small sample size last year, but I like Luther Burden a lot. So Christian Watson and Matthew Golden. Ugh, Packers fans not going to like us for that. Packers or Bears fan. I mean, we're always crapping on the Bears and the Packers.
I always crap on the
Lions and the Vikings, but
I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. All right. NFC South here. We've got the Bucks now with Chris Godwin and Emeka Egbuka. You've got the Falcons with Drake London and Jahan Dotson. Saints, Chris Olave and Devon Vele, probably their backup. Current second as of right now. And then Panthers, you got Xavier Legette and Tet McMillan. I think you've got to go.
I think you got to go the Bucks still.
Yeah, yep, I think so as well. Egbuka just insane coming in there. We're going to see how he does. I think it's going to be like a JSN situation to where like DK leaves. You're like, oh, is JSN going to even do anything? And then he goes
Tears
off.
It up, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be the same thing. Am I crazy for thinking that the Panthers might be number 2 with Xavier Legette and Tet McMillan? Or am I crazy for thinking
over who?
Drake London and Jahan Dotson and Chris Olave and Devon Vele?
I think they're number 2. Give me number 2, yeah.
And then someone to get them at number 2 here. You think you've got to go Drake London, Jahan Dotson at number 3. And that leaves Devon Vele and Chris Olave. That's tough because I like Devon Vele, not a huge name, sure hands, big receiver, and Chris Olave is when healthy, really good. I might put the Saints at 3.
Yeah, I don't know.
Drake London is really good though.
I have a Drake London mini helmet.
Oh my! Okay, look,
I also have a Jordan Addison mini helmet.
We're gonna flip a coin. We're flipping a coin.
I would probably
that close.
Yeah, I'd flip it. Just flip it.
It's a coin flip.
It don't really matter.
Heads is gonna be the Saints. It's tails. So Saints are unfortunately last here. Dang, that's a tough one. That was. I didn't expect that division to be that tough. Our last division here, NFC West. 49ers now with Mike Evans and Ricky Pearsall. Seahawks, Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith. Oh my gosh, dude, just loaded. Rams, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. And then Cardinals, Marvin Harrison and Michael Wilson. Sorry, Cardinals, you are last because you are in a stacked division right now.
Is it crazy for me to say
49ers are third? Nope.
No, yeah, that's for sure. But is it crazy for me to say that I'm picking Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith?
Yes, I would think so. Puka Nacua is arguably the best receiver in the NFL, and Devontae Adams led the league in touchdowns, I think, last year. Cooper Kupp's a solid number 2. He's not Devontae Adams, though. We're talking Devontae Adams, probably future Hall of Fame Devontae Adams.
Okay.
I think we've got to go.
Way to talk me off the ledge.
I think we've got to go Rams number 1 here. Don't get me wrong. Jackson Smith and Jigba. We were talking before, like rookie of the year. Is it going to be offensive rookie of the year? Is it going to be Jackson Smith or Puka Nacua? Puka's ball control is just freaking incredible. That's a tough one too. It's not close enough to be a coin flip, but it's still really close. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to talk about our top 8 here. We're going to rank the divisions. So we're going to break this down even further. We're going to go divisions, and then we're going to go to our 1 through 8. So we're going to do our best wide receiver duo in the AFC and then best wide receiver duo up in the NFC. And I really don't think it's even a debate, but we'll kind of go there here pretty soon. So it might be a quick one on that one. So AFC East, in the AFC, you got the Bills receivers at number 1, the Bengals receivers at number 1, the Texans receivers at number 1, and the Broncos receivers at number 1. NFC, Cowboys number 1, Vikings number 1, Bucks number 1, Rams number 1. Okay. Can we agree that in the AFC, it is Jamar Chase and T. Higgins as the best wide receiver duo in the AFC. I think that's pretty easy. And then the NFC, we can. Oh, this is where it gets tough.
So can we agree that the NFC has way better receivers?
Yes. Oh, yes. Because I'm looking here right now, and I think right now I'm looking at 3 that could be I'm looking at 2 that could be number 1. Jordan Addison just doesn't do it for me to put them in that hierarchy.
You got CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens,
and then Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Am I crazy for saying it's CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens?
CeeDee Lamb. Would you take CeeDee Lamb over Puka? Because you literally just said 2 seconds ago that Puka is the number 1 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, but I think.
And then you said Devontae Adams is a future Hall of Famer and led the league in.
I did say
receiving touchdowns.
I got to look up his stats because I know he had didn't he have set 14 touchdowns? Yeah, 14 touchdowns, 789 yards with the Rams. Okay. Just for funnies, I'm going to look at Cooper Kupp stats. So Cooper Kupp last year had, let's see, it would show me this. 593 and 2 touchdowns. Wow, he did not have a great season. All right.
No, it was all Jackson.
I realized that he's up there. So let's look at CeeDee Lamb stats.
Pickens had a lot of yards last year.
So CeeDee Lamb, I think CeeDee Lamb was even injured. Was he injured for a little? No,
he didn't have as. I think George Pickens had more yards than him, didn't he?
So he had 75 receptions. So CeeDee Lamb 75 for 1,077 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He was hurt.
I think he was hurt for a little bit, and then George Pickens. Jeez, dude. 93 receptions, 1,400 yards, and 9 touchdowns. I feel like we're crazy
not taking. Yeah, you got to
because while Puka is better than Puka's better than both those receivers. I think those two are. That's tough. That's a really tough one. I am going to take the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, just based off previous year, and both of them have good quarterbacks. Dak a good quarterback. But we're not taking quarterbacks into play here. Just talent alone, I feel like the youth of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens is just a little bit better than. A really good Puka Nacua and then an aging Devontae Adams. All right. So there are number 1s here. So let's just go ahead and rank these. Let's go ahead and rank these 1 through 8 really quick because I just want to kind of see where we're at. And this is the last one we're going to do here. And you guys that are listening and watching, you can rank as well. So as number 1 is that
I'm going Cowboys.
Really? Over T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
I would take.
Boy. T. Higgins is a number 1.
So is George Pickens.
Majority of the teams
So is George Pickens.
Yeah. But George Pickens has been traded before. T. Higgins has not.
Well,
they're the most expensive wide receiver deal in the NFL.
Congratulations. They have nothing to show for it.
This is what's going to decide it. If T. Higgins had better stats than CeeDee Lamb's, they're number 1. They're number 1. So we're going to see if he had better stats last year. All right, Cowboys are going to be number 1. Well, he had 846 yards and 11 touchdowns. So how much do you value touchdowns? CeeDee Lamb had only 3 touchdowns.
He was also hurt a little bit.
How long was he hurt?
Weeks, wasn't he? Did he have an ankle or something like that?
This is tough, dude. A concussion. He had a concussion. So he missed 2 weeks.
So what was T. Higgins' numbers?
He only had 800 and some receiving yards, but he had 11 touchdowns.
What was Jamar Chase's numbers?
Okay, that's good. I guess I should probably look at that as well. 1,408 touchdowns. Right there is almost him and CD were on par.
Well, him and George Pickens were on par.
Yeah, but do you value yards or touchdowns? Because T. Higgins had 11 touchdowns. Combined touchdowns, 19 for the 19 between Jamar and... I swear to God, if it's exactly the same. No, it's not. Because George Pickens only had 14, 15, 16, 17. So 19 touchdowns to 14 touchdowns. Yeah. What do we want to do here? This is must be the hardest one. This is where we're going to get the most criticism here, ranking these guys different. Cowboys or Bengals? Wide receivers. Today you had to pick, this is who I want as my wide receiver duo. You've got to pick one. You've got 10 seconds. You get neither. It's counting down. 5 seconds left.
CD and Pickens. I'm staying with it.
All right.
What
I'm
are
not
you
going to fight you on there. We're going to go Cowboys. Based off last year's production, we're going to go Cowboys, and then there's no debate that the Bengals are second. Wow. We might get some pushback on that, and that's okay. Are we in it? Do we agree now, too, that
equipment is free and we should be podcasting? Yeah. Right.
No. Well, do we agree now that the Rams are third?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rams are third. Okay, so now we can kind of start going through these a little bit. Now it might have some debates going. Nico Collins and Tank Dell. You've got DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, Jalen Waddle, and Cortland Sutton. Are Waddle and Sutton better than Nico and Tank?
Yeah, I'm going Waddle and Sutton.
Okay, so that is the one we're going to argue here
because I think Waddle is going to take over Cortland Sutton at number one. Okay. In my opinion, I think he's going to have a tremendous year.
Well, really quick, let's go ahead and just put the Seahawks here because the Seahawks are better. I think the Seahawks receivers are still better. Jackson Smith. We already picked the Rams.
They're better than Cortland
Seahawks.
Sutton and
yep, for sure.
Waddle. Yeah,
and there's no debate there.
They're after that.
No debate. So Seahawks. So really, the debate would be between. We picked the Bucks. Who's better, the Bucks, Chris Godwin, and Emeka? Okay, so here's where we're fighting here for this this fifth spot. Chris Godwin or the Bucks receivers and Chris Godwin, Emeka Ibuka, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, Cortland Sutton and Jalen Waddle.
I think you can take.
I think you've got it.
It's crazy because Justin Jefferson is arguably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure. And Jordan Addison's a pretty solid number two, but I feel like you got just the fact that they have Justin Jefferson. I think you have to put the Vikings at 5. Yeah. I think you have to. Because it's criminal not to, especially with Justin Jefferson. So now we've already been through all the NFC. So we got Cowboys, Rams, Seahawks, Vikings. So all you have left now is the Bucks and Chris Godwin and Ibuka. And then who comes after that? Is it Jalen Waddle? That's who they're going to be facing right now. That's a tough one. So you got the Bucks receivers. You got the Broncos receivers, or you got the Texans receivers. Okay, so really quick, Broncos or Texans? You think Broncos over Texans? Yeah, I think so. Because Tank Dell,
Broncos over Texans.
So we're gonna say Broncos against the Bucks right now. So Chris Godwin.
See, and I like
Godwin. He's just a little bit older.
I like Waddle over Godwin. I don't know. Maybe it's not a bias thing either. I just think just from watching him play. He's an exceptional receiver, just a great route runner, and Cortland Sutton. But the Cortland Sutton is kind of the Achilles heel, in my opinion, when it comes to it.
Yeah,
I would go Chris Godwin and Ibuka probably.
I gotta look at stats here. I gotta look at his stats last year. Chris Godwin had 360 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he was injured.
He was injured 90% of the time, wasn't he?
I think he was injured. Yeah, because that's how. I think him and Mike Evans were both injured.
Yeah.
And that's how Ibuka got his yards there. And then Cortland Sutton
had a solid year.
I think he had 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. Oh my goodness, Ibuka. I think you got to just base it on what's Igbuka's stats last year. I feel like we're just going through all these here. He had 938 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, give me the Broncos.
Okay, but the Bucks are probably right after. So then the Bucks are right after them. Broncos, Bucks. So that would leave Bills. So we're saying DJ Moore and Khalil Shakir are no. That's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cowboys, Bengals, Rams,
Seahawks. All right.
Oh no. Seahawks aren't on there at all because we put them. They weren't number 1 in the division. So I figure I'm like we are off here somewhere. Yeah. So it's Seahawks. Rams, then Vikings, then Broncos, then Bucks, and then you've got left Texans, and Bills.
Is DJ Moore is not better than Nico Collins.
No, I don't think so. And I don't think so.
And
so
Shakir's not as good as Tank Dell. So the Bills are last.
Bills are last. So we thought they got better, which they did.
They did a lot better.
But still last year. So this is our rankings. So these are our final rankings. Yeah. Gonna have a lot of people disagree probably with this list here, and I want to know your list out of these. People are probably gonna disagree with the fact we even have some of these teams in the top. So number 1 we have the Cowboys, number 2 Bengals, number 3 Rams, number 4 Vikings, number 5 Broncos, 6 Bucks, 7 Texans, 8 Bills. Out of the top 4, 3 of those are NFC teams, which is crazy. The Bengals sneaking in there at number 2. Texans, Bills, AFC, they're in the last. Broncos sneaking in at 5. So, yeah, I mean, that is going to round out the rankings here, and I'm intrigued to see what everybody else thinks because I think we might get a lot of pushback on these final rankings. But anything you want to add in on these at all?
If I was a professional, I would get paid millions of dollars to do this. We were doing this because we love to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So
keep in mind that Nick Wright has his own show and gets paid for some of his ridiculous takes that he has.
And they're absolutely awful a lot of times.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. So yeah, let us know in the comments what your rankings are for these. We spent probably 40 minutes, I think, on this wide receiver ranking here as far as the duos and stuff go. Let us know if there's someone you have in your top 8 that we don't even have, in our top 10, because I'd be really intrigued to hear it. Be nice to us in the comments for sure. But I think that's going to wrap it up for us on today's podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.